Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the historic Knott Memorial on the campus of Union College for our annual Dutchman Shoes press conference. My name is Steve Sheridan, the Director of Athletic Communications here at Union. Welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. Student athletes, coaches, staff and administrators, and of course members of the local media as well. We appreciate everyone coming out here on this Wednesday afternoon, a brisk Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be similar weather to what we're seeing on Saturday, I think, so hopefully everyone's used to it by this point. This, of course, is a special game, a special rivalry for both teams. As the oldest college football rivalry in New York State, this will be the 120th meeting between RPI and Union altogether, and the 73rd time that teams are playing for the Dutchmen Shoes Trophy. As both coaches can likely attest to, this game means more to students, to fans, to alumni than possibly any game on the schedule every season. And this is a rivalry that seems to have a little bit of everything, especially in recent years. Just in recent years, we've had conference titles won and lost. We've had footballs thrown in opposing teams' buildings. We've had soccer players kick game-winning field goals in overtime. We've seen sun, rain, snow, and everything in between, and it truly is a special rivalry where anything can happen regardless of the team's records. And of course, this year, we have potential NCAA tournament berths on the line. We have potential bowl games on the line, which just adds to the specialness that we're going to see here on Saturday between these two teams. We're also excited to have several new faces on both sides this year. We'd like to welcome RPI Associate Vice President and Director of Athletics, Dr. Christy Bowers, as she comes to Union for the first time, and look forward to seeing her experiencing this rivalry firsthand for the first time this weekend. And of course, on the Union sideline, we have head coach Jon Poppe in his first season, who will get to experience this for the first time after I'm sure he's heard a lot from students, from alumni, about the meaning of this game and what it means to be a Union player going up against RPI on a weekly basis. After the coaches, of course, we'll have both coaches speak, both Jon Poppe and Rafa Cernia, and then we'll have breakout into interviews for individuals, for members of the media and staff members as well, anyone that wants to talk to, coaches and players as well. So we look forward to, obviously, a great game on Saturday. We hope we can get as big a crowd as possible to come to Frank Bailey Field. We have some big crowds already this year, and it's going to be a beautiful Saturday. We look forward to seeing everyone there. First up to speak, I'd like to welcome to the podium Union first-year head coach Jon Poppe.
Welcome, everybody, to Union here, and welcome back, Coach Cernia and your players. You guys are having a great year, and I truly believe, watching on tape, you are the most complete team we've played to date. So, we're looking forward to a great contest this weekend, and obviously, you guys do a lot of awesome things on tape, and I hope we give you a good game this weekend. Thank you to the media for all your coverage this year. In terms of how you support our student athletes, support our program, it's been truly special to see the type of coverage we get in this area. So can't thank you guys enough. Jim McLaughlin, our AD, for his support. Dominique, Steve, for your guys' support. It's been a great year and time in this first go-around for me individually and personally. So I can't thank you guys enough. And for our seniors that are here, as well as our captains, I'd like to recognize them as individually. Stan Koss, Jamar Edwards, Cole Da Silva, and Tommy Cavallo, through their leadership through my time here at Union has been tremendous. And that's a testament to them, credit to them, and the other fifth years and seniors that we're going to recognize this weekend while we are 8-1. Their work ethic, their commitment to this program, their commitment to each other, and day in and day out process has been truly inspiring. And it's a reason why we're at where we're at today. In terms of this season, it's been a fun ride. It's been one of the most positive and generally fun football experiences I've had the pleasure, whether going back to Pee Wee, Pop Warner, high school, college, and my coaching career. This has been an awesome ride. I have fun every single day with these guys that make it easy with how they compete, with their attention to detail, with their desire to be great. And it's really been a true pleasure of mine to represent these guys on the sidelines day in and day out and on game day. So couldn't be more excited to experience this rivalry game for the first time and have an opportunity to host a trophy. This is the first time I'll have a chance to do that. Harvard-Yale doesn't have that, right? Williams-Amherst doesn't have that. So really looking forward to having this chance to compete for truly a special trophy at the end of this game. So thank you, guys. Steve, I'll hand it back to you.
Thanks, Jon. Now let's welcome RPI head coach Rafa Cernia.
Thank you. On behalf of Dr. Marty Schmidt, Dr. Christy Bowers, her first go-around here, Dr. Schmidt's second go-around, thank you for having us here. We've got our seniors and captains here. We've got CJ Shoemaker, Sterling Walker-Sutton, Carlos Davis, Jake Kaznowski, and Nate Sicard, who have been really great leaders for us, for our football team. You know, all the way back in the spring when we named captains, and you guys probably do the same thing here, is the ownership that they've taken with our program, the ownership that they've taken with getting the young guys on board and talking about the culture and speaking that every day. It's been really an easy lift for me this season going through, just because of the type of leaders, the type of gentlemen, the type of character that we have on our football team. So I can't thank you guys enough for that, and it's truly something special. Talking about something special, this is this game, the Dutchman Shoes Game, oldest rivalry in New York State, really more than a game. For both schools, it's a part of your culture, it's a part of who you are, it's what you hear on every recruiting trip, it's all of that. It's what you hear every single day from alums, you know, that are emailing, texting you, calling you, and stuff like that. So it's huge. But more than that, I think it's what's great about college football. Okay, we hear all these things about college football, and it's this, that, and the other. But this is truly something that's special about college football, about having two schools 16 miles apart that get a chance to compete for a trophy every single year. And it's probably one of the most purest things that you ever see. Obviously, it's a heated rivalry. There's not, I can honestly say this, there's not a whole lot of like between the two schools, and I get that, but there is a huge amount of mutual respect. With what you guys go through in the classroom, day to day, getting the lifts, getting to practice, getting to meetings, having to juggle all those things, all your responsibilities, and still getting out on the field. Coach, probably just like you, probably the greatest time that you have is that 2 hours that you get a chance to spend on the field, to get out of the office and just, you know, just coach ball and play ball and see the excitement, see the guys and just run around with them. It's like, you know, elementary school recess, right? We're getting back to being kids again, and I think that's what it's all about, the enjoyment that our guys have for each other and playing the game. So looking forward to a great game on Saturday. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach. At this time, we can break out in individual interview sessions. Brett and Dominique will both be here in order to coordinate and facilitate those for members of the media. We do have lunch here if anyone would like to grab a snack, something before you head back to class or back to campus, wherever you'd like to go. But we'll hand it over now, members of the media, and we can facilitate with Dom and Brett to get interviews done. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Yes, we'll have the coaches come up here and we'll have them pose with the photo first. So. Or pose with the trophy, I should say.
First side? Yeah, that would make sense, right? There we go. Cool. Pick that thing right up, guys. Oh, you want to pick it up? Yep. Jon Poppe. Like the Stanley Cup? Fair.
We all set?
Good. Jon, when you came to Union, what was the importance placed on this rivalry? How much did you know how much this game meant to Union?
Well, going through the interview process, right? You want to research your school, research the football program, and one of the first things that comes up is the Dutchman Shoes Game. So naturally, the alumni, right, the players made it clear during the interview process, the guys that I had a chance to speak to, that this is what it's all about, right? Win, lose in terms of your record, right? If you're 5-5 or 4-5, 5-4, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you got to win this game, right? And carry some momentum into recruiting, carry some momentum into spring ball and your off season. So the importance on this game can't be overstated. Like, it is everything we do day in and day out always comes back to this rivalry.
Coming out of last week, did you feel an uptick, in the energy with the guys knowing that this was coming up this week?
I think starting that fourth quarter, as the game was truly in our hand, guys were getting ready for the Shoes game, mentally, physically, and you could hear certain comments on the sideline, and obviously in the locker room, we know what's at stake, right? And in this game, we got to play our best game to date and execute the right way, and our guys have been focused on this one for a minute.
Does practice feel different this week? I know you're trying to treat it like another game, but does practice feel different leading up to this game?
I don't know if it felt different in the sense that guys were vocalizing it, right? I think was a really energetic practice on Tuesday, but we've been great. Our kids have been great 6 a.m. on Tuesdays this year, and that's why we have the record we do to date. But there's definitely a little bit more rah-rah, if that makes sense, and a little bit more attention to detail on a Tuesday, just because we play well. Some things could be happening here on the horizon.
Coach, because there's an at-large bid potentially at stake, I mean, how much does that amplify the significance of this game?
I think for both sides it does, right? Like they're trying to play spoiler a little bit and keep and maintain possession of the trophy, and we're trying to take the Dutchman Shoes back, right? It's Dutchman Shoes for a reason. We want it back. They're our shoes, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens on Saturday.
These fifth-year guys were part of the last team here, that hosted that trophy. How much has it meant to those guys to bring it back for their last time around?
I think that's been a huge motivating factor for them, right? In terms of the offseason, in terms of the leadership, and in terms of holding the underclassmen accountable. It's built up all for this game. So I think they've done a great job, and the seniors want it back, and that's why we had the type of practices we did on Tuesday, and we hope to have another great one today.
With how few at-large bids there are, is it the kind of thing we just take care of our business and you let the chips fall where they do on Sunday?
Exactly right. We know we have to win this regardless to even have a shot. So if we don't do that, then we know we're sitting at home, right? So if we win, at least we create the argument for the decision makers to make their decisions.
Coach, you've been a part of a lot of special rivalries in your career. I mean, where does this stack up against some of the best?
As Coach has certainly hit on, right? I mean, this is what your shirts are, the rivalry's on your shirts. The rivalry's in your motivation for workouts. So this is as heat as it comes, and the recruiting battles are won and lost too on this. So there's a tremendous amount of impact on this game.
To take back Dutchman Shoes and potentially lead your team to a playoff bid in your first year, I mean, just how significant would that be for you?
It would be exciting, right? And it would be just a great year and great way to send off our seniors. A final home game to win this rivalry, take back the shoes. I mean, what better way to end your career? And if we do that, then it's a testament to them.
You said RPI is maybe the best team you faced all year. What is it about this team that really jumps off the page?
I just think offense, defense, and special teams, they have playmakers. I think they're sound. They compete the right way. They fly to the football on defense. Special teams, they create explosive plays, create positive field position for their offense, and the offense, they have a special playmaker, one of their captains in jersey number 1. I mean, he's phenomenal when he has the ball in his hands. So we've got to do a great job of containing him in special teams, punt return, kick return, and on defense. And that has really stood out to me. I think he's the most dynamic playmaker in this league. So.
Thanks. Thanks.
Cool. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy. Thank you.
Good luck.
I'm set.
All set?
Yeah.
Coach, obviously you're coming off a tough loss this last week, but I imagine it's not hard to get these guys remotivated again with potentially the biggest game you've played all year coming up.
Absolutely. I think when the Shoes game comes around, no matter what year it is or what's going on, it's everyone who might have been injured winds up getting miraculously healed. Everyone that had some bumps and bruises, they're fine. There's no. You don't need to motivate the guys for this game. This is the one that's always on the schedule. It's always the last regular season game. We know what's at stake, and you have two great teams that are going to be going at it this Saturday.
Is there more pressure knowing that you have a chance to win it for the third year in a row and be spoilers to Union of trying to get the NCAA?
Pressure. We talk about pressure. No pressure, no diamonds. Pressure is a privilege. If you're playing for something that's special, playing for something that's meaningful, then you have to embrace it. You have to embrace that pressure. But our guys know that they need to be prepared. They need to have the game plans down. They need play as hard as they can because you're going up against a really, really talented football team. So I think you have it on both sides, and that's probably what that's the way it should be.
Just, Coach, you've been around this rivalry a long time. How special is it to you and to RPI, in general?
It's always a special game, and I think you'd say it's special for both schools. I mean, it's the first thing that you hear during the interview process. It's one of the things that you always talk to the recruits about. What makes RPI special is playing in rivalry games, playing in these big games. That's why you go to RPI. That's why you go to Union, to play in these big marquee games. The oldest rivalry in New York State. So. It's certainly something that we hear sporadically throughout the course of the year. You get the emails and text messages from alums, and then it starts to really heat up. The Sunday going into the Shoes Week, where you have everyone contacting you and wishing you good luck for the game. So it's really a special rivalry.
What have you seen from Union this year? What does it take to win on Saturday?
Oh my gosh, they're a complete football team. You watch them on film, the way that they play, they're always in the right gaps, they're always making the right fits. Their guys are blocking the right guys. The attention to detail that they have is incredible. It's a team that when we look at them, on film, there aren't any holes. There's not something they say, hey, we want to exploit that. So what it comes down to is execution, blocking, tackling, throwing, running, catching. And if you can do those things consistently against a very good team, it gives you a better chance.
This game seemed to give you guys some momentum last year going into your bowl game. How much do you hope, to see the same thing this year? Anything that happens after the game or whatever happens after the game, that's not in our control. It's about this game. It's about playing each play as hard as we possibly can, and being in the right position, executing the offense, execution of the defense, all of that stuff. So everything else that happens after the game, that's not anything that's going to be in our focus. That's not something that we're going to concern ourselves with. A lot of that stuff that's out of our hands, that's going to be people voting and stuff like that. So all we can do is control, what we do on the football field, and that's basically comes back to our fundamentals.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Good. Set.
All good?
Yep.
All right. Jake, obviously coming off a tough loss, disappointing loss last week, but I imagine it's not too hard to get remotivated for this game.
Yeah, our culture, our team, we kind of think of, the next game, whether win or loss, it's just the next game, one at a time. Really is that same mindset, and especially after our loss to Hobart, Union, it's a big game, we all know that, but we're going to treat it the same way we treated the other week where, we got to win, we're going to do everything we can to win.
You guys have won the last two. I'm assuming you don't want to let this go under your watch. What is it going to take to keep this over at Troy on Saturday?
Yeah, they're a good team. There's a lot of mutual respect. Just like Coach said before, there's a lot of mutual respect between our teams. You look at our records the past few years. We're usually pretty good teams going against each other, and keeping the shoes at ECAV is really important to us as a team. Especially to the coaches, the players. We don't want to walk past our trophy case and not see those shoes, so it's really important for us.
You got the nod as starter last year. What were kind of some of your nerves going into this game, and how much more confident do you feel this time around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could tell from our alumni, especially when I was a freshman, how much this game means to us, and last year it was awesome because it was, my first home game my first Union game was home. So it was a little bit easier, but, that experience really helps you come into this year, with, a stronger image of yourself, more confidence in your team.
Union is still up for potential playoff bid. Is there a mentality going around the team right now? It's like, hey, if we have a chance to spoil it, that's at least something good that can come out of this game.
Yeah, each week it's that win. We want that win. We still, looking for a playoff berth, whether that's, way too far-fetched or not. We just want to win this week and worry about that when it comes next week.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good luck Saturday.
I appreciate it.
Good luck, man.
So, those are some things that we need to focus on.
this week because we have a similar team that really likes to hit.
All good?
Yep.
Good.
Cole, because this is Coach Poppe's first one, have you given him any advice, any tips on what this rivalry is and what it's like to be in it?
Yeah, no, I mean, oldest state rivalry in New York State history. So, we've talked about it together. I think him coming from Harvard, he knew the implications, that with Harvard Yale being the oldest rivalry in all of college football, and we've harped on it a lot over the past year, and especially when he came in the spring. We can go 0-9 all season, and getting this win makes it a successful season to us because it means so much to us players and the alumni as well. So, he came in with a bunch of enthusiasm and fired up, and I think he's backed us in a way where it put us in the right position where we can be successful.
Cole, you guys are sitting right on the verge of a potential playoff bid. On top of just wanting to bring the Dutchman Shoes back, how much does that amplify the fact you can get a playoff berth? How much does that amplify this game for you guys?
We're actually not worried about that. We're worried about week in and week out, focusing on us and playing for the Union in front of our chests, and the Dutchman will come out victorious hopefully in this one. And but yeah, all talks about playoff berths and everything. It's great to have in the back of your mind, but really we've just been focused on us and sticking together as a team and getting better week in, week out.
What's made this team so special this year to be number 2 in the league and within this close of potential?
Yeah, talked a little bit about that earlier. Last year, not having a successful season, going 6-4, losing Behrman, I feel like a lot of us felt lost in the winter. But we harped on how we just got to stick together and keep the game plan so we can come back and get these shoes. And I feel as if we got a bunch of guys, older guys, very mature. The camaraderie we've built over this past off season and this season has been unlike anything I've experienced before. And these guys, they want it. We're very determined, and we're excited to compete this Saturday.
Cole, this RPI offense has been really explosive at times this year. What do you guys see from them on paper, and what do you have to do to kind of rein them in on Saturday? They're a great squad. Big up front. They have weapons. On the outside in the backfield. Quarterback as well. He's a good player. But I think our guys on defense and the maturity that we have grown into over this past year is kind of what's going to keep us afloat. And us going into this game, we have a game plan. Rick Flanders, he always puts us in the right position to make plays, and that's what we're going to do come Saturday. And you're a senior, right?
Yeah, senior year.
Can you kind of sum up what it would mean in your senior year to be the group that brings the Dutchman Shoes back to Schenectady?
This was the whole reason why I came to this school. To be able to compete for this trophy is unlike anything else, especially at the Division III level. It's something really special. Over the past 3 years, I've come up short in the last 2 times, but this is a legacy game for me, my class, and I'm really hopeful we can pull this one out. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.